And now it is my great honor to invite the former Israeli Prime Minister and the head of the opposition, currently MK Yair Lapid, to speak to us. Please. Hello. Good morning. Once I leave here today, I will go to the Knesset, where I will sit in the plenary, and for about 12 to 14 straight hours, I will vote against a budget that it will ruin your children's future. I have no nice or polite way to say that. This budget that the current government is now passing is destructive. It has no good news, no reform to change, no any growth engines, nothing to improve anything, no reforms, only a lot of trying to get more money. It is just trying to get people not to work, not to learn, not to provide for their children. It just tells them, you don't need to work because those suckers will give you money and their children will give money to your children. And our children are going to be the first generation in the history of Israel that would be more poor than their parents. They would not have an apartment. They would not be able to close the months. They will pay higher taxes than we do. This is a budget that is taking the most fast-growing population in the country, the ultra-Orthodox, and paying them with your tax money in order to make sure that they will not learn math, English, and not study a profession and will not work. Even today, 49% of the ultra-Orthodox men do not work. So today's budget will cause this number to leap upwards. And the average ultra-Orthodox family has 6.4 children, which is almost double than any other population in the country. And most of these children will not work. This is what this budget wants to create, to make sure that the percentage of ultra-Orthodox men working would become decreased and decreased. And twice it was proven before. Once in 2003, when Netanyahu was Minister of Economy, and once when I was Minister of Economy. When you want people to work, you need to give them more budgets, and when you want them to work, you give them less budgets. And what they're doing now is making sure that even if they want to work, they don't have a way to do so. When you don't study math, English, computers, you cannot work. Someone who gets higher budgets will definitely not work. We are the only country in the world paying its citizens money to make them not work. Give them these allowance. And every time this comes up, the Haredis say this is just about hatred of Haredis, of ultra-Orthodox, because we take it from the factual zone to the emotional zone. And they say our emotions are so, hurt, and they ask us to reconcile them. And I will not surrender to that. There is no sense in saying that young, healthy people should work. There's no hatred in saying so. There is hatred, and there is no hatred in saying the Israeli economy will not be able to bear that. This is not nice facts, but these are still facts. And the facts are that the last budget is not only sentencing the children of the Haredi to poverty, it's also sentencing our children to poverty. And this is how financial suicide looks like. A successful, sophisticated, educated country erasing with open eyes its own future. This is not something that I'm saying is head of a position or from any position. This is what the chief economist of the Treasury is saying. This is Bank of Israel is saying. This is a very severe document by the Division of Budgets of the government is saying alongside with the budget. And this is said by 120 chief economists in a letter that was sent yesterday to the Prime Minister. It's not only economic suicide, it's also a suicide of values. There, we are telling people who work hard, you are just suckers. They say to people who serve the military, you are suckers. You're saying to people who love this state does not see you at all. The budget against which we will be voting tonight has 14 billion shekels of coalition money. So 1 billion means 1,000 of millions, and when you giving each other 400,000 millions of shekels, but they did not find any money to give to an organization of a youth movement for people with special needs. and they did not give any cent to people who are Holocaust survivors, but they had no problem of giving hundreds of millions of shekels to Avi Maoz to use those to spread his racist theories against LGBT and women. These finances are coming from our tax money. My niece Noga, she's lesbian. This is from her money. She works very hard, and her money is taken away through taxes being used to humiliate her. Luckily enough, she's a strong woman, and she knows that she was created in the image of God, and God loves her, and I love her too. And I want to make clear, I'm not only saying what not, I'm also saying what yes. We have provided an alternative budget that is focused on two things that a normal budget should be focused on. So engines of growth and fighting the decline. And so instead of all this coalition money, 8 billion should be taken out in order to lower the VAT in 8%. This will have an immediate effect on the cost of living, on the shopping, for groceries. We must give more money to initiatives, to entrepreneurs. The AI is changing the world. It's the same as when internet and computer was invented, even bigger than those. So we need to now double the budgets we're giving to the Authority of Innovation, not cutting on it, and also on our budget. We will have resources for ultra-Orthodox, etc., because the state does provide for them. But these budgets should be only given to education systems who do teach math, English, high-tech, etc., and the basic toolbox for the work market. There is a great importance to the Torah, of course, to the yeshivas, of course, but they cannot become a haven to protect one from giving national service or IDF service, and from the basic duty of every person, of every citizen, to provide for themselves and for their children. The fact that in Israel we have different education denominations instead of just one education stream is a grave error by our founding fathers. But it does not exempt the state from giving money to everyone as long as who are giving education, as long as the education has essence to it. You can't have students graduating from 12 years of high school without even hearing once about math or STEM or English and about the Declaration of Independence or the importance of democracy. We will object this budget, of course, but I want to say more than that. We should all work very hard in order to go back to power, because things, it's very hard to make things smaller, and everything they now do, we need to undo before it becomes permanent and over-elaborated. And I heard all of these people saying, in order to be in power, you would give the same money. It's always the problem with people who are cynic. They think everybody is like them, but no, I did not give them budgets when I was in power, and we won't give them because we love our children, and we don't give our children's future when you negotiate for a coalition. And everyone's saying, without the ultra-Orthodox, you'll never have a government. I want to remind you all, you said exactly the same thing both last times where I put up governments without them. I don't say that they are not to be counted. I'm not leaving them out, but they need to know that we also have values. Our values are sanctified to us, the same as their values are sanctified to them, to exactly the same extent, and we will not allow financing the damage for the future of our children. We will demand STEM in Israel and IDF service and national service, and we will not allow racists and messianic people enter the schools of our children. During the past months in the state of Israel, a lot of bad things have happened. But there was also one miracle that took place. The liberal side of the political party has raised its head. Millions of people who believe in democratic, Jewish, liberal state are now willing to fight for it. And for those people, and in their name, I will live here today, and I will go to the Knesset in order to vote against this destructive, corrupted, and extortion of budget, the most dangerous one that was ever played on the tables of the Knesset. Thank you very much.